Okay, I think we can go ahead and get started, at least with introductions, and then as people jump on, they can follow along from there. So I can start off. My name's Caitlin. I'm the program director for AHO CSA. And I'll hand it off to Alessandra, who can introduce herself, and then we'll jump into a few updates from the about the food pantry and answer any questions along with that.
I'm Alessandra, I'm the food pantry manager, and I do have with me Nadia Gales, our resource coordinator. Does anyone else want to introduce themselves?
Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica Doubleday. I'm the donated foods coordinator with the Community Food Bank in Tucson. It's nice to see everyone.
Hi, I'm Tracy Taft. I'm a community resident and former volunteer with the CSA.
Good evening. This is Nina Saevas, the co-director.
Good evening. This is Sterling Johnson, co-director.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, thank you for coming to the AHO Food Pantry Community Meeting, November 1st. Tonight we're gonna give out our contact information, mine and our resource coordinators, as well as some October data. And we're going to have questions or comments and what's next. So we'll talk about our new distribution dates and meeting dates as well. Okay, so as I said, I'm Alessandra Molina. And you can reach me at the AHO Food Pantry at ahocsa.com. I have with me Nadia Nogales. She's a little hoarse right now with her voice, sorry. And she is the food pantry coordinator as well as assistant. And she has her resources for ahocsa.com is the email. And her phone number is 520-848 1958. Thank you for putting that in the group chat. And so some data. Give me one moment. I'm going to put my glasses. So during the month of October, we did have one distribution. We helped 94 households and 315 individuals. We also helped, we gave out 1,507 pounds of non-perishable items that we got from the food bank. So what's next? We do have the Food Bank of Southern Arizona that will be doing distribution November 2nd, which is tomorrow from 9 to 10:30 at the LDS Church on Cedar Street. And then our next distribution for the AHO Food Pantry will be November 18th, and that will be Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So now we have room for any questions or comments. Anybody like to say anything else? We do, as I said, have our resources, which you can contact Nadia and you can be able to see if she can help you and guide you through some of these processes of receiving benefits from the government, such as help with utilities, getting on food stamps, eviction processes.
So a lot of people in the community are confused and asking, why is the pantry open so little and what should they expect, during the year to come?
Yeah. Hi, Tracy. Thank you for bringing that up. This is Caitlin. So as of right now, so some of the changes that have happened during the summer were due to a delay in funding that happened as a nonprofit. We had just a delay in receiving funding from some of our funders that impacted some of the programming that we've been doing, especially the food pantry, which caused us to pause that over the summer months. So we've been planning out what that will look like for the future of the pantry for the upcoming months. So as we've restarted and looked at what our planning and our programming will look like, we've slowly started to integrate back into having distributions and partnering with the community food bank to receive the donated foods that we've always received from them, to have monthly distributions alongside the food bank. So, the food bank distributions are still happening in the beginning of the month. And then we're trying to also provide an additional distribution to the community right now, at least with once a month. And then based on feedback that we hear through the clients at the distributions, working from there, we are still planning to also do a food security assessment in the next coming months to help further identify what the need in the community is as far as number of distributions or additional resources that are needed by the clients or other community members that maybe the food pantry isn't reaching just yet. So to hopefully better provide and just understand the needs of the community a little bit better. So right now we are working based off of donated food that the food pantry is receiving, and that's a little bit different than some of the previous work that the food pantry was doing. We were purchasing some other food and not just relying on donated food. So I hope that answers your question.
Kind of, but not quite. Are you hoping to increase, funding and distribution? I mean, I think the confusing part is it was such a generous program during COVID. Sorry, that's my dog. But it was such a generous program for a long time that, and it wasn't, of course, before then, but the memory is, more recent. And so, I think a lot of people that's why I meant by confused. It's like, is this, hopefully temporary reduction in funding that you're not able to, buy like you did from Pivot? Or is it sort of a long-term model because needs have changed or the funding environment has changed? Could you just say it again? If you already said that, I just didn't understand.
Yeah, of course. So I guess there's two parts to that. One part is being that a large portion of our funding for when Ajo CSA took over the food pantry was that the grants coming in for that were COVID based, being that a large aspect of the the need for food worldwide was due to the pandemic. So that's where a lot of those funds were coming in from. And then as far as looking into the future, a large portion of that on our side will be based on the food security assessment that I mentioned. So kind of going, once we are able to complete that, kind of getting a full picture of what the needs for the community are and making a plan based off of that. If the results of that assessment says, more distributions just based out of the food pantry or a different model, kind of getting an answer from that assessment will give us a better idea as far as what the next steps for the food pantry will look like, and how to better serve the community. I hope that helps.
It does. You did a food security assessment before, right? So it would compare now to then, or am I missing?
So we did surveys before, just to kind of gauge some information on how we can better do our programming for the food pantry clients. I believe years ago, before I was involved in AHO, there was a food security assessment done. That was before my time. But just while we've been working with the food pantry, we've done surveys just to kind of better assess how we can do some programming. But this will be a bigger like community involvement, whether they're clients or partners or just community members in general that aren't necessarily participating in the food pantry at all, just to gain a better assessment of community needs in total.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course. Any other questions?
Hi, Caitlin. This is Jessica with the food bank. I actually just wanted to kind of piggyback off of what Tracy mentioned. And since I have everyone here, just kind of gauge whether you feel like you'll need like perishable product in the future, or do you plan on in the foreseeable future continuing to only take the non-perishable from the food bank, just so I kind of have a better idea, because I have to coordinate everything with that piece. So if you have any thoughts on that, would be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll actually relay that to Alessandra, as she's there on more of the day-to-day, seeing the distributions and kind of interacting with the clients and seeing I guess like the inventory of the donated food that we receive. So Alessandra, what is your I guess our capacity on receiving those donated items from the food bank and going forward with that?
I mean, as far as perishable items, I would say that items like eggs and milk are requested by the clients. Right now, we are not like at, I would say, like full capacity of all our clients coming back. I think we're more like at a half base right now. But that could possibly bring more of our clients like to come and receive items. I think if we could do it in a much less, I guess, bulk that we were receiving before from the food bank, maybe we would be able to take some of those items. I know I've asked questions and tried to get that going before. So if you can point me in the right direction on who I need to speak to, I guess, regarding like, some of those perishable items, before we were able to hold the items, but now that we're only doing it once a month, it's kind of difficult to store those items. You know what I mean? They would rot before we would be able to hand them out. But milk and eggs would probably hold better, as far as better than the produce. I know we had quite a few clients that really did love the produce that we received from Pivot. So hopefully we'll be able to start that up again. But as far as like milk and eggs, that would be like my priority for the clients right now.
Thanks, Alessandra. I'll make a note of that to talk to Nicole, my supervisor, and see what we can do.
Yeah, if you guys can point us in the right direction to kind of get some of those items maybe on a smaller basis, that would be fantastic. I know that many a times you guys bring them to the actual distribution that you guys have, and we would receive the leftover items, but as we're just only doing one distribution right now, I would not want any of those to go to waste either. So yeah, we could probably figure some sort of schedule out, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jessica. Are there any other comments or questions?
Okay, well, I guess that may wrap that up for questions and comments. We just want to thank all our partners. Some of those are Curly School, Parks and Recreation. We also work with Cactus Cupboard, and Cody is still doing deliveries for Y and assisting and volunteering with the food bank distribution, which, just a reminder, will be tomorrow in the morning from 9 to 10:30 at the Aldis Church on Cedar Street. And so thanks again. We have many volunteers that are still stayed with us and helped us. So I just want to say that I appreciate them and thank you very much. They will also be there handing lots of items out. And our next pantry community meeting will be December 6th, again at 5:30. And so hopefully we'll be able to have a little bit more information and see, join us please. And we can still have more discussion, questions, comments. And hopefully we'll be able to have better information on when we can increase our donation or our distributions at that time. Always welcome to contact me at Ajo Food Pantry at ajocsa.com on the email. And so some of you do have the number and you can text or call me as well. So I appreciate everyone joining us for this meeting and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night, everyone.